In this lecture, we'll continue from the previous lecture where we discussed pass a parameter by value. Now, we'll talk about pass a parameter by reference. When we want to pass a parameter to a method using the pass by reference technique, we use the ref keyword. Just so you know, in C# we have different keywords for putting parameters in methods. Among these modifiers, the keywords ref, out, in, and params are important. But for now, we'll focus on the ref keyword. Hello guys, welcome again. In C#, we use the ref keyword to show that a parameter is passed by reference technique, not by value. When a parameter is passed by reference technique, any modifications made to the parameter inside a method will affect the calling code as well. Alright, let's look at the previous example. Here, we pass a value type variable as an argument to the changeValue method. When we change the value inside the method, the x variable in the main method remains unchanged. This happens because we pass the x parameter by value. Since x and y are value type variables, they are separate variables, and changes to one of them don't affect the other. This behavior is called passing a parameter by value technique. However, if we use the ref parameter modifier for the y parameter, we can directly update the value of x inside the changeValue method. This happens because this time, when we add the ref keyword next to x as the argument, we pass the memory location of the x variable inside the stack frame of the main method to the y parameter, instead of just a copy of the value of x. So, in this case, when we change the value of y to 20, it actually changes the value of x to 20. This happens because y is pointing to the x variable. Also, for the same reason, when we print the value of y, it will display 20. This behavior is known as passing a parameter by reference technique. Alright, let's dive into VS Code and see this behavior in action. Here's the previous example we discussed. First, let's run the application. As you can see, the values of x and y are different, and changing y doesn't affect x. Now, instead of passing x by value, let's pass it by reference. To do this, both the method signature and the method call must include the ref keyword. Let's run the application again. As you can see, this time the value of x inside the main method is updated to 20. This happens because when we pass a parameter by reference, any changes made to the parameter within a method will be reflected in the calling code. Alright, it's important to understand that the ref keyword can be used with both value types and reference types. In the previous lecture, when we passed the person1 to the changeName method, something interesting happened. Since person1 is a reference type variable, changing the name of person2 inside the changeName method actually affected the person1 inside the main method. This happens because both of these variables point to the same data in the heap. To confirm this, let's run the application. As you can see, when we change the name of the person2 inside the method to Emma, the name of the person1 inside the main method also changes to Emma. Okay, as you can see, in this example, we're using the pass by value technique. However, because both person1 and person2 are reference type variables and point to the same data in memory, when we change the name of person2, it also changes the name of person1. Alright, Now let's compare how value types and reference types behave when we use the pass-by-value technique. Okay, let's consider this example. When we pass a value type variable using the pass-by-value technique, the actual data in the variable is passed to the parameter. So, in this case, when we pass the value of x as an argument, the actual data, which is 10, is passed to the y parameter. On the other hand, when we pass a reference type variable using the pass-by-value technique, the memory location of the actual data stored in the variable is passed to the parameter. In this case, when we pass the value of person1 as an argument, the memory location of the actual data is passed to the person2 parameter. That's why when we make changes to one of them, it affects the other. Okay, what happens if we assign a new instance of the person class to the person2 variable? In this case, a new object is created in the heap and its memory location is stored in the person2 variable. Based on this, each of these person variables points to a separate person object. So, when we change the name of person2 to Emma, it doesn't affect the person1 object in the main method. To confirm this, let's jump into VS Code again. Let's run the application. As you can see, the name of person1 in the main method remains unchanged. Alright, now let's add the ref keyword to the method signature and method call to switch from pass-by-value to pass-by-reference technique. Now let's run the application to see the result. As you can see, the name of both person variables is changed to Emma. To better understand this behavior, let's illustrate what happens behind the scene when we pass a reference type variable using the pass-by-reference technique. Okay, in this case, when we pass a person1 variable as an argument using the pass-by-reference technique, the memory location of person1 is passed to the person2 parameter. So, the person2 variable points directly to the person1 variable instead of pointing to the data in the heap. Because of this, whenever we change the person2 variable, we're actually changing the person1 variable. That's why here, when we set the value of the person2 variable to a new instance of the person class, a new object is created in the heap and its memory location is stored in the person1 variable. And when we change the name of the person2 variable to Emma, we're actually changing the name of the person1 variable. Alright, there are a few important things you should know. 1. Both the method signature and the method call must explicitly use the ref keyword. 2. The variable passed as a ref parameter must be initialized before being passed to the method. Without initialization, the variable doesn't have a value stored in memory, and therefore there is no address or reference to pass using the pass-by-reference technique. Let's remove the value of x to demonstrate this. As you can see, we encounter an error. 3. The ref keyword can be used with both value types and reference types. It's important to understand that the concept of passing by reference using the ref keyword is different from the concept of reference types in C#. The two concepts are not the same. A method parameter can be modified by ref regardless of whether it's a value type or a reference type. Okay, done. See you soon.